Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So, in this episode, which is going to be a Horn of Africa episode, I've had the opportunity to observe the recent Al Jazeera stream in which the topic of Ethiopia was discussed and the ongoing crisis that was happening within that country. And specifically, they had a multitude of stakeholders that were discussing the ongoing issues. And one thing that really stood out for me was the Amhara representative. And what I found interesting about the Amhara representative was the equivalency that was being placed on other atrocities, other major crises that are occurring in Ethiopia, as if those same crises are equivalent to what is occurring inside of Amhara as well. So, for example, inside of the Tigray region, that region has been occupied by Ethiopian Federal Army forces. It has been occupied by Eritrean Army forces, and it has been occupied by Amhara regional militia groups. Amhara is not occupied by Eritrean armed forces, and Tigrayan defense forces have not occupied the entirety of the Amhara region as well. And I think he had quoted, the Amhara representative had quoted about 200 Amharans who were possibly killed over a course of a period of months. But again, that equivalency about that issue comparing to what has happened inside of Tigray sounded to be very much the same, which it is not. What is happening inside of Tigray is very different than what is happening inside of this region of Amhara. Another interesting thing to note, and if I'm wrong on this, please correct me, but I've outlined the Amhara region on my Google Maps. But if we look at the capital, Addis Ababa, it's also known as Finfinne for the Oromo peoples. And if you pull up the Oromia region, you will see that Addis Ababa lies within the confines of the Oromia region. But at the same time, the demographic breakdown inside of Addis Ababa contains over 50% Amhara. And the spoken dialect, according to a demographic study, the language at about 70% tends to be an Amharic dialect. But what really stands out is almost 50% of the population is ethnic Amhara. So again, I'm not saying that is a right or a wrong. It is what it is. The fact that this is the Amhara region, and inside of the Oromia region, you have Addis Ababa with 50% of the population being Amhara. So I think you have to look at that as a question. If Addis Ababa in Ethiopia is this federalized state with a focused power base inside of Addis Ababa, then why is the majority of the population Amhara? And I think that's just something that you have to look at, and I think it goes back in terms of Ethiopian history as well. But But again, just to kind of look at the equivalency, you can't equate, and I don't even think you can equate what is occurring inside of Oromia versus what is going on inside of Amhara. Two totally different circumstances and two totally different things happening. There seems to be more stability in terms of regions. The stability seems to be inside of Amhara, and there seems to be very focused stability inside of Addis Ababa, which again is about 50% Amharan. So again, I'm just an outside observer trying to look at this. But another question that I have as well is the relationship between Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki, the despotic leader of Eritrea. And my question is that is Abiy Ahmed really from the Oromo ethnic group? I know that is one claim. If you go into Wikipedia and you look at the Nobel Peace Prize information, he is a declared member of the Oromo ethnic group. But his policies and the way the country is operating would leave one to question that, if in fact he is in fact an Oromo. And given the fact of this very tight, close relationship between Afwerki and Abiy Ahmed, you have to almost question, what exactly is going on. Why does this professed leader who has won the Nobel Peace Prize for wanting to bring Ethiopia together, that was his stipulated goal, why has he allowed tens of thousands of Eritrean forces inside of the country? And at the same time, what is the meaning of the relationship between Abiy Ahmed, who allegedly is an elected head of state of a democracy, in terms of his relationship with this despotic regime in Eritrea? Why is this relationship even existing, and how could the moral compass of the government of Ethiopia turn towards the despotic regime of Eritrea for assistance? And I think that has a lot of people asking questions. I have questions. I don't understand it, and it would seem that if that prior to engaging in this vast war against the Tigray region, that an alternative would have been looked at before engaging in this despotic regime of Eritrea and having this regime assist you. Because once you let these guys in, they may never leave. And it looks now like Eritrea has no intent on leaving the Tigray region. And its footprint is now firmly inside of Ethiopia. And Afwerki really seems to be looking to stay and have a political power base inside of Ethiopia now as well.